Let's bring in to discuss all of this contributor to Conservative Review, Tom Borelli, and radio host and Fox News contributor Richard Fowler. Guys, thanks for being with me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
You know, Richard, let me go to you first on this. I mean, it's interesting because Senator Flake's such a key figure. He's been very vocal that if he were running for a re-election, he would have just voted for Kavanaugh. But he's not, and he's more following his faith, his values at this point. Richard, is that, do you think, a good or a bad thing?
Well, I think it is a good thing. And one thing that he said in this interview that we just saw taking place in Boston is he talked about the why more, and there's nothing wrong with ever having more information. And I think that is very, very true to where we are right now. I think we're beyond, if you sort of take out the political bloodbath on both sides, what you have is this. You have two credible witnesses, Professor Blasey Ford, as well as Judge Kavanaugh. They've both made credible testimony. And now the American people are trying to figure out who's more credible, who should they believe, and the FBI can help us get to the bottom of this investigation. And then it'll be down to the United States Senate. Jeff Flake, Lisa Murkowski, and Susan Collins to figure out how they're going to vote on this nominee. Are they going to put him on the Supreme Court, or aren't they, based on the findings of the FBI investigation?
Which we should say, Tom, according to sources talking to Fox News, that FBI investigation could be wrapped up as soon as tomorrow. You could view this as a good thing because we're going to get an answer from the FBI. You could say it's a bad thing. Maybe it should play out throughout the week so that the critics of those Republicans on the Senate Judiciary Committee can actually step down and say, look, an investigation was completed in proper time, due process, if you will.
Well, let's face it, Charles, whatever happens, the resist movement is going to be alive and well. Democrats' resist movement started right after President Trump got elected. Remember the Women's March and Madonna wishing that someone might blow up the White House? After that, not one Democrat voted for the tax reform. Now the Democrats into this politics of mass destruction of people. They're destroying Judge Kavanaugh with an amazing record, destroying his credibility, and they really exploited Dr. Ford. Watching her testimony, she certainly didn't show any idea that she knew the ways of Washington, and then we find out that obviously her memo was supposed to be confidential was leaked, and more disturbing, her lawyers didn't tell her that she could have testified in California in private. That's not what the Democrats wanted. They wanted to make this a national spectacle.
Because, Richard, the Democrats are the ones that actually recommended her legal team. And at the same time, I mean, we've got to say there are calls now for an investigation into how this information was leaked from Senate Judiciary. I mean, was it Senator Feinstein? I mean, a lot of folks are asking that question. Was it one of her friends? Was it someone else? I mean, we don't know. But in particular, Senator Grassley is saying enough is enough, and Senator Graham as well. We need to look into this. This is not how this should have been handled.
Listen, this segment's not about the resistance. It's about the Supreme Court of the United States. And if you listen to what Jeff Flake said carefully just a couple minutes ago, this is about finding out more information. We can have a debate about when her testimony should have been released. We can have a debate about who her lawyers are. We can have a debate about Brett Kavanaugh's tone. We can have a debate about Brett Kavanaugh's drinking. But at the end of the day, what this comes down to is the United States Supreme Court, the highest court in the land, and if Judge Kavanaugh should be on it. And what we will find out from this FBI investigation is the information necessary. Remember, we're not dealing with the entire United States Senate. Right. We're not dealing with the resistance. We're dealing with 3 Republican senators.
Yeah, Tom, really quick.
They are the ones that will make this determination.
Tom, really quick.
And they need this information to figure out how they're going to vote, and they deserve it.
I got to run, but Tom, I do want to give you a last word really quick. Do you think that Kavanaugh gets confirmed?
I think he will get confirmed.
Yeah. Okay. All right.